Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, Lisha El Kesha, and today I want to talk about something deeply personal, something raw, and something that sheds light on a story many of us might not fully understand. Now, before we dive in, I want you to take a deep breath with me because this story is heavy. It's about family, trust, betrayal, and survival, and it's not just any story. It's a story about the Braxton family, a family you may know from television, but one whose reality is far more complicated than whatever appeared on the screen. And when I say complicated, I mean it in the most literal sense. Because behind the cameras, behind the glamour, behind the smiling faces, lies a reality filled with pain, secrets, and situations that no child, or even adult, should have to navigate. I know many of you have followed the family over the years and thought you knew their story, but today we're going deeper, much deeper. Because their niece, Michael Braxton's daughter Ashley, is speaking up, and the story she tells is haunting, heartbreaking, and yet courageously empowering. Let's start with the family dynamics. The Braxtons, do they have values? Well, yes, but like many families, they are complex. They are imperfect. And if we're being honest, they are fractured in ways that most families prefer to keep hidden. Family issues are nothing new. Every family has them. But some stories, like Ashley's, highlight pain that lingers and scars that run deep. It's the kind of story that makes you stop and think, how does one heal when the people who are supposed to protect you, your parents, your aunts and uncles, fail to do so? Ashley begins her story cautiously. She's nervous, careful with her words, and I get it. Imagine opening wounds that have been stitched up by time, by silence, by denial. Imagine recounting a moment of your life where your sense of worth, your feeling of safety, was shattered. She explains that her estrangement from her aunt began over a misunderstanding, or rather, over a false assumption. She was 16, a child, when this event occurred, and from that moment on, the love she thought was unconditional suddenly became conditional. Her aunt no longer spoke to her, and her father even threatened legal action if she told her story. Think about that for a second. Imagine being silenced by the very people who are supposed to champion your voice. Ashley recounts her story with an honesty that is both haunting and inspiring. She says, "I have been a nervous wreck to talk about something like this because I don't want to hurt anyone. But at the same time, I've been working through this in therapy, and this goes so deep to my core, my sense of worthiness, how I feel about myself. It's been such a journey." Ashley's trauma is compounded by betrayal. The very people who were supposed to protect her either failed to recognize her innocence or refused to acknowledge it. She was blamed for something that was never her fault. At 16, she had to navigate emotions, fears, and accusations that no teenager should ever experience. And yet, through her therapy and self-reflection, Ashley is reclaiming her voice. She's confronting her past, not out of anger, but out of a desire for healing, for herself, and for others who may have experienced similar trauma. Her courage is staggering. To recount abuse, neglect, or misunderstanding is one thing. To do so publicly, knowing that family members may disown you, is another entirely. And yet she chooses truth. She chooses awareness. She chooses to shed light on what happens behind closed doors. Ashley details a summer spent with her aunt, a time that should have been filled with love and warmth. And at first it was. Her aunt was kind, she felt safe, she felt seen. But as time passed, the narrative changed. The warmth turned cold. The support she initially received became suspicion and blame. "It boggles my mind," Ashley says, "because I was a child. If something had happened, then that would have made him accountable. But instead, I was blamed." This is where the story becomes a reflection on accountability. Adults made choices. Adults failed. And a child was left navigating the consequences. She was isolated, silenced, and told her voice didn't matter. The emotional impact of such betrayal is profound. Ashley's story is not just about the past. It's about the ripple effects that trauma has on identity, self-worth, and trust. One of the most powerful aspects of Ashley's story is her resilience. Through therapy, she confronts the feelings of abandonment, unworthiness, and isolation. She explores what it means to reclaim one's sense of self after being denied validation. "I never should have been put in that spot," she says. "I did not ask for this. No matter what, I didn't ask for it. And now I can finally confront it, process it, and find my voice. Therapy is not just a tool for processing trauma. It's a shield, a guide, a safe space where Ashley can unpack a lifetime of hurt. And through this process, she begins to see a path forward, a way to reclaim her narrative and her life. Ashley's story also highlights how family secrets can span generations. The Braxton family, like many others, is caught in cycles of dysfunction. Trauma, silence, and denial often pass from one generation to the next, leaving children to bear burdens they did not choose. This story underscores a painful reality. Sometimes the people who should love us unconditionally fail us the most. And when the system of care, parents, aunts, uncles, siblings, breaks down, it can leave lifelong scars. But Ashley's story is also one of hope. By speaking out, she is breaking the cycle. She is refusing to allow silence and secrecy to define her life. She is reclaiming power over her narrative. Adding to the complexity, Ashley faces legal threats from her father if she speaks publicly. Imagine being told you cannot speak about your own experiences. Imagine being told that your truth is punishable. This element of her story highlights how trauma is often compounded by power dynamics, control, and fear. Yet Ashley refuses to be silenced. She chooses to speak, to educate, and to empower, not just for herself, but for others who have suffered in silence. Despite everything, Ashley finds moments of support. Tamar, one of her aunts, reaches out and provides a safe space for Ashley to share her story through a live podcast. This moment is monumental. It is a testament to resilience, understanding, and familial support where it is most needed. "It feels good to have a family member behind me," Ashley says, tears in her eyes. After so long, after so much disbelief, this support means everything. It's a reminder that while families can fail us, allies and advocates can emerge, offering validation and healing. Ashley's journey teaches us so many lessons. Trauma does not define you. Silence does not equal guilt. Family support, when it exists, can be transformative. Speaking your truth is powerful and necessary. Her story is a reminder to anyone listening that you are not alone. That even when systems fail, even when people betray you, there is a path toward healing, validation, and self-love. Ashley's courage is inspiring. Her willingness to share her truth in the face of disbelief, legal threats, and family estrangement is a lesson in resilience. Her story, while heartbreaking, is a beacon of hope for anyone navigating trauma, familial neglect, or abuse. By speaking, she empowers herself, and in doing so, she empowers countless others who have been silenced. As I close this video, I want to leave you with this. Trauma may shape us, but it does not define us. Silence may attempt to suppress us, but truth has a voice, and that voice is powerful. Ashley's journey reminds us that healing is possible, that validation matters, and that love, real, compassionate, and supportive love, can emerge even after years of neglect and betrayal.